Hello everyone, today our group would like to introduce and present to you about the contribution of Tunku Abdul Rahman, which is the first Prime Minister for Malaysia. So this is our group member that consisting of me myself, Muhammad Rasmizan, Dan Deko and Muhammad Danish. This is our agenda for today that we would like to invite you to get to know who is Tunku Abdul Rahman is, what leadership skill he's obtained, what contribution that he made, the challenges that he's faced, and the conclusion that we can make from his story. Hi everyone, my name is Steven Latekwe, and today I would like to introduce to you to the first Malaysia Prime Minister, which is Tunku Abdul Rahman Putra Al-Haj. I would like to invite you to get to know who he is and what he has contributed to the Malaysia. So who is Tunku Abdul Rahman? Tunku Abdul Rahman Putra Al-Haj was the first Malaysia Prime Minister who was born in Alor-Serta, Kedah on the 8th February 1903. He comes from the royal family, whose father was Sultan Abdul Hamid Halim Shah. Tunku Abdul Rahman was an educated prince as he pursued his study in Bachelor of Art degree and graduated from it in 1925. Tunku Abdul Rahman then being one of the chairmanship in Kedah branch of the United Malay National Organisation, or its called as UMNO, in 1949. 2 years later, he became the president of UMNO in the succession of Datun On bin Jaafar. As the leader of UMNO, he then formed an alliance party which consisting of the UMNO, the Malay Chinese Association (MCA), and the Malay Indian Congress (MIC) to build the racial harmony and cooperation in Malaysia politics, and for the purpose of contesting for the first municipal election in the federation in 1952. Tunku Abdul Rahman was as a chief minister in 1955, has led the Merdeka mission to London, and they have successfully negotiated the Federation of Malaya Independence, in which it was declared on August 31, 1957. And Tunku Abdul Rahman became the first of the Federation of Malaya Prime Minister. Tunku Abdul Rahman, besides of the independence of Federation of Malaysia, Tunku Abdul Rahman has also contributed to the formation of Malaysia through the uniting of Malaya, Singapore, Sabah and Sarawak into a single federation, in which the Singapore separated from Malaysia in 1965. Besides that, Tunku Abdul Rahman also helped in ending the 12th year of communist insurgency by offering an amnesty to communist fighters and engaged peace talk with the communist leader, which is Chin Peng. On the international stage, Tunku Abdul Rahman was a diplomat whose support for cooperation of various regions led to the creation of the Association of South Asia and strongly opposed the apartheid.
Hi, I'm Muhammad Danish, and I'll be discussing about the leadership of Tunku Abdul Rahman. First of all, I would like to address his visionary leadership. Okay, and his visionary strategies that lead him to become a successful leader came by to him as a long-term plan and a successful way to get into independence. His influence of independence grew strong within him that he needs to change the perspective of the people, which comes from influencing the people of Malaya by unifying the people together. So his influence comes from all types of media by unifying all races to stand together as one nation to repel off the British occupancy during 1945 to the release of 1955. So in that way, as he strengthened up these people's spirit for an independence, he must also take on control of politically amends by doing the diplomacy. So Tunku believed that peaceful talks were better than fighting, so he built strong diplomatic ties between Malaya and London, and eventually through this effort he gained the trust of the British and successfully led a meeting towards the Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth II, which eventually led the country to independence on 31st of August 1957. So this moment didn't just mark freedom, it became a turning point for Malaysia's future, that it gave the country a chance to grow politically and economically, playing the path for a strong national policy, which is the new economic policy, which has been strengthened by each generation of Malaysia today. So Tunku's smart and peaceful leadership made him a truly successful leader and the father of independence, of what people call him, or much rather known as Bapa Kemerdekaan. I would like to talk about the second leadership skill that Tunku Abdul Rahman has, which is the inclusive leadership skills. Now, moved by racial and religious harmony, is that Tunku Abdul Rahman was a leader who truly cared about racial and religious harmony. He believed that everyone, Malays, Chinese, and Indians, should live together in peace and not segregated to each other. To make this happen, he helped create the Alliance Party, which include UMNO, MCA, and MIC, which allowed all races to have a voice in their government and to ensure that peace and harmony is always available between all these three parties. Not only that, but Tunku also respected each group's culture and religion and made sure their beliefs were honored and signified. For example, he implemented these policies of public holidays. Nowadays, we recognize that Chinese New Year, Hari Raya ADS4083G3, Deepavali, and Christmas as a public holiday for Malaysia, and would honor it and respect for who celebrates it. And finally, is identifying a moderate identity towards the people of Malaya. So he promoted a moderate national identity, where one that unites people and not divide them. Because of this, Malaysians began to see themselves as one people working together for a better future.
Alright, let us begin with the first point of contribution Tunku Abdul Rahman, which is the Independence Day. As we know, he known as a Bapak Kemerdekaan, which means he the person who brings idea to get Independence Day to Tanah Melayu. He does delegations to London based on an agreement between the representative of Raja-Raja Melayu and other coalitions party. The conference took place from 18 January to 6 February 1956. The delegation's independence bring three main negotiations, which is the security matters, British-Malay relations, and the constitutions of future Merdeka. Last but not least, on the 8th February 1956, the independence agreement was set on the 21st August 1957, which is next year. The Independence Day was celebrated at the Stadium Merdeka, Kuala Lumpur, with approximately 20,000 of people watching it as a witnesses, with the 7 times charted Merdeka by Tunku Abdul Rahman itself.
So hi everyone, I will be talking about Tunku Abdul Rahman's contributions in Malaysia. So Tunku Abdul Rahman was a key figure in shaping Malaysia into the peaceful and united country we know today. So he strongly believed that national unity could only be achieved through rational harmony, especially since Malaysia is made up of diverse ethnic groups such as Malays, Chinese, Indians, and the indigenous communities. To promote this unity, Tunku has formed a multicultural political alliance called the Alliance Party, or Parti Perikatan in Malay. It brought out together three main parties such as UMNO for the Malays, MCA for the Chinese, and MIC for the Indians. This setup has made sure that each race had a voice in politics and decision making. So one clear sign of success came during the 1955 elections, where the alliance won 51 out of 52 seats, which is a huge victory that proved the power of cooperation among races. Tunku also ensured inclusiveness in the government, as he appointed ministers from different ethnic backgrounds, such as Tunku Abdul Razak, representing the Malays, as Deputy Prime Minister, Tun H.S. Lee, representing the Chinese as Ministry of Transport, and Tun Witi Sambanten, representing the Indians as the Ministry of Works. This approach made every community feel involved and respected. Overall, Tunku's leadership built trust between races, as he supported cultural diversity while promoting a shared identity as Malaysians. Thanks to his efforts, Malaysia achieved independence as a united and multicultural nation.
Moving on the first challenges of Tunku Abdul Rahman, which is the incident 13 May 1969. The incident 30 May 1969 was a turning point in racial strife occurred between Malay and Chinese people. The incident occurred after the third general elections due to the communists and the secret society who were closely linked to the elections. On the same day, Tunku Abdul Rahman declared a state of emergency since during the communist actively moving on killing people and damaging property. As a result, 196 people were died, 439 were injured, 39 missing, and 9,139 were arrested. He also established National Movement Councils Magaran in controlling racial strife between the Chinese and Malay people. The Chinese people using strife ratios with Malay with room to show that they are winning the election clean, but for Malay people it called as sial. Last but not least, he also introducing a new policy in controlling poverty for Malay people that known as the original race in Tanah Melayu.
Throughout Tunku Abdul Rahman administration, he faces several challenges in establishing Malaysia, and it comes from the internal dissent and external opposition. One of the challenges faced by Tunku is the opposition from Indonesia, which is the confrontancy. Sukarno seeing the formation of Malaysia as a threat to Indonesia's security and regional influence, and this has led him to lead Indonesia to launch in aggressive action towards Malaysia, in which it included attempts to penetrate through Malaysia territory through Sabah and Johor. The Cold War that happened globally has further exacerbated this conflict, as Indonesia intends to seek support from the communist power like the Soviet Union and China, while Malaysia on the other hand rely more on the Western allies, particularly the Britain. Apart from that, the second challenge comes from the opposition from the Philippines. The Philippines opposed the process of formation of Malaysia as they asserted the territory claim toward North Borneo, which is Sabah, demanding its return and questioning of Malaysia's legitimacy toward claiming over North Borneo. On June 22, 1962, the Philippines formally filed this claim, and it created a diplomatic friction that complicated Tunku Abdul Rahman's effort to unify the region. Furthermore, the third challenge faced by Tunku is the internal opposition and regional resistance. Within the period of Malaysia formation process, Tunku Abdul Rahman faced several obstacles from the local leaders in Sarawak, Sabah, and Brunei, who were skeptical on his proposal. In July 1961, leaders such as Ok King Hui, A.M. Azahari, and Malaysia and Donald Stephen issued a joint statement rejecting Malaysia formation, representing the interests of their respective states and signaling internal dissent. Convincing this region to join Malaysia required extensive consultation and negotiation, as their diverse interests and aspirations needed to be addressed. The fourth challenge is the balancing of regional autonomy and national unity. During the period of Malaysia formation, Tunku Abdul Rahman faced a complex of tasks in ensuring Sabah and Sarawak rights and interests were protected within the new federation. Negotiating this term required careful diplomacy to balance the regional autonomy with the need for a cohesive national framework and a process that demands extensive consultation and compromise.
To conclude, Tunku Abdul Rahman's contributions were truly significant in shaping Malaysia as peaceful and united nation. He successfully led the country to independence from British and later on played a key role in the formation of Malaysia in 1963. Tunku strongly believed in racial harmony, which is why he formed the Alliance Party, bringing together Malay, Chinese, and Indian leaders to ensure that every race had a voice in government. Despite facing serious challenges such as the 13 May 1969 racial riots, Tunku remained calm and diplomatic. His legacy teaches us the importance of unity, tolerance, and leadership with integrity. Without his vision and effort, Malaysia will not be the nation it is today. Thank you.